I'm Ethan Sobel for UMassAthletics.com. Today we're visiting with junior co-captain of the women's rowing team, Terri O'Brien. Terri, you're just a few short weeks into the season. Talk a little bit about the progress that the team has made up to this point.
All right. Last weekend we had our first official race at the Yankee Cup, which is against URI, UNH, and UConn, and that was a great way to gauge where we are against these other teams, URI being our biggest rivals in the A10 conference. The week before that we had Coast Guard. That was a scrimmage that was held here, and that went really well. It helped us to find our technical strengths. They're a bunch of really fit girls, but we raced against them, and our technique really pulled through in the end, whereas at URI, we had those technical strengths. We had a lot of wind down there, and we raced them. Most of our boats took second. We did beat UNH and UConn, but URI came out ahead of us. So what we're doing now is really working towards getting our stroke ratings up so that we can hold URI off and beat them in the A10 conference.
Now, the weather's been quite wet of late. What type of adjustments has the team had to make in terms of practicing when you can't get out on the water necessarily?
It's been crazy. The last 2 weeks we've only gotten on the Connecticut River twice. We're hoping to go out again today, but my co-captain Anna and I have been sitting waiting with our phones to hear from our coaches about what we're going to do that afternoon, and at the last minute we'll be sending a text message to everyone else. We've done a lot of cross training, some running and some just working out in the rec center. We're still doing our lifting. We've been in the erg cage, which is downstairs, and just doing a lot of erging, and we know that we have our technical strengths on the water. We know that we're rowing well, so really fitness is a big important part of it, so we're just working on all that while the river's flooding.
Now this weekend you have a big meet against the Holy Cross Crusaders, which has come to be almost an annual event for you guys. How is knowing how they race going to help you this weekend?
It should help. We've raced them before. We raced them here and on Lake Quincy, and we've beat them in the past, but last year they were very close to us, so we know that they're not going to be easy competition. We know that we are going to have to go out there and really race against them. And actually this year it's not just us and them, it's also UNH, who we did beat last weekend, along with Williams, who's a very strong Division III team, but they have won the Head of the Charles, they've gone to NCAAs and all that, so they'll be there as well. So we really know that this weekend isn't going to be as easy as we want it to be.
Now, it's still talking about this weekend. It's going to be in your home city of Worcester. Talk a little bit about the benefits or maybe the pressure from seeing your family there, that type of thing.
Well, I think it's going to be very exciting. We actually may practice in Worcester on Friday, which is exciting for me. Everyone else is not looking forward to the long bus ride to and from, but I get to go home. I'm excited that hopefully I'll have a bunch of family members, maybe some friends from high school and from my high school team will show up. My parents usually do come even to the faraway races, so it's not a lot of extra pressure, but I think it'll be fun. It'll be nice to have a crowd, kind of like a home race there. And I also know the course well. I rode on that course for 4 years during high school, so I know all the landmarks and can help the coxswains out by telling them, here's where the first 500 is, here's where this is, and that should be helpful to us.
Now, the Atlantic 10 Championship race coming up in just 2 short weeks. Who would you say is your biggest foe or competition right now in the defense of the conference title?
I would definitely say URI and St. Joe's. They both really pushed us last year. In the Varsity 8 last year, our boat actually took second we beat URI for the first time in a while, and we had a come from behind finish, but St. Joe's did beat us last year in the Varsity 8. In the second Varsity 8, we took first, just beating St. Joe's and URI in the last few seconds, so those two are the really fast crews. Fordham will be in there. They're very good, getting fast as well, so those will be our biggest competition out of everyone.
Well, Terri, we certainly thank you for your time. Wish you the best of luck this weekend against the Holy Cross Crusaders. That was junior co-captain of the women's rowing team, Terri O'Brien. Be sure to check right back here for recaps and previews all season long on the women's rowing team. I'm Ethan Sobel for UMassAthletics.com.